Hi, welcome to Brent's Pot Hour, and it is December 24th, 2017, and it's around noon. If you want to make contributions, I'd really appreciate it. My address is Brent Waller at P.O. Box 2072, Sumner, Washington 98390. And my Facebook is Abeldon, Abeldon. If you want to see me on Facebook and get pissed off at a Facebook page, I try to hit on everything. But today, at least for this first one, sorry, don't mean to itch. I'm one of those bipolars whose body reacts to being uncomfortable. But I wanted to talk about Fukushima today. I really feel like Fukushima is the main subject that people aren't paying enough attention to, and it has grown significantly. The amount of people and information. Well, the amount of people has grown significantly since it happened, but the amount of information has gotten very blurred since it happened. I mean, basically when it happened, we didn't even know that it had melted down for a few days. But basically, at least 3 reactors melted down within 2 days. From March 11th, 2011. I mean, there was elevated radiation, elevated nuclear radiation readings in Seattle, and as far away as Chicago, I think, Illinois. They were already getting readings 3 days later of 10 hot particles per meter. 10 hot particles. So if you breathe one of those hot particles in, and it nests in your lungs, 5 years from then, or 10 years from then, or whenever. I mean, with dogs, well, let me tell you, if you breathe in a hot particle and it sits in your lungs 5 or 10 years from then, you can expect a cancer to have developed in your lungs if you don't get it out. Okay, I think that drinking baking soda will get it out once in a while. But this doctor, Raymond Gilmedy, he did tests on 144 beagle dogs, and within 5 years, he gave all of the beagle dogs 1 hot particle of radiation. He gave all of the dogs, 144 dogs, 1 hot particle of radiation. Within 5 years, all of the dogs had died, mostly of cancer, bone cancer or lung cancer. But they had all died. So this is bad, okay? Because the same thing is potentially happening to us if we don't get the cancer out of ourselves and take care of ourselves. And I believe that drinking half a scoop of baking soda in a glass of purified water, half a teaspoon once a day, for a couple weeks or whatever, it'll make your poop hard. But you need to get the burning embers out of your body, or they will cause cancer. Okay, and the reason that baking soda works is because it makes your blood alkaline, right? Cancer cannot exist in an alkaline environment. Radioactive embers and radiation is acidic. It's more acidic. But acid cannot remain in an alkaline environment. So if you make your environment, your human environment, alkaline, it will get rid of the cancer by itself. You won't have to go in for, $1 million surgery or whatever to have it taken out of your brain or to take it out of your body or whatever. Well, once it gets in your brain, but that's not true, because if you can turn your blood alkaline, cancer will have to leave. I mean, the doctor that discovered it, Otto Warburg, who discovered the cause and the cure of cancer in the 1950s, I think 53 or 55, he discovered the cause and cure of cancer, and he wrote about it in a book. And he said, cancer cannot exist in an alkaline environment. By drinking baking soda, you're making your internal environment alkaline. Cancer cannot exist in an alkaline environment. Let's put these two things together. By drinking baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking soda, you're making your blood alkaline. The guy who discovered cancer said, cancer cannot exist in an alkaline environment. Huh. Oh, so you won't get cancer. And Fukushima, at least 3 nuclear reactors melted down. I almost think there's 4, because people couldn't get within 100 yards of the whole plant. It was at 530 sieverts. They tested it at 530 sieverts. It takes like 5 sieverts to kill a room full of people. There was 530 sieverts, and it takes 5 to kill a room full of people. So what do you think that 530 sieverts being washed into the ocean is doing to the ocean? It's making it completely toxic. Don't drink the ocean water. We already are. We all are. The ocean water is what creates the clouds, and it's what feeds the reservoirs and everything like that. We're drinking it. We can't prevent ourselves from being introduced to the radiation, but we can do something after the radiation is introduced to our bodies. We can do something to get rid of the radiation, right? We have to get it out of our bodies. I drink juice with a whole lot of vitamins and minerals in it and everything. I could even put baking soda in here a little bit, but I know it kind of makes things bland when you add baking soda to drinks. It kind of makes things bland. So I just drink baking soda by itself in some water, and then it just tastes a little salty. But I was gonna say, you can add lemon juice. This is Winco lemon juice. I like Winco. I'm not really sure about their deli food, but I was thinking you could add lemon juice just to make it a little tart if you want. Lemon juice is always good to drink once in a while. Lemons are good. So you can, if you like to drink sour fruit juice, I forget what kind of fruit juice this was, but it's got a lot of spices, and I added lemon. Rosemary, sesame seeds. You can see them floating around. See that? Just think of it as pulp, instead of thinking it as being, all the weird stuff, and because you gross yourself out. It's psychosomatic. What I was talking about you not liking, or people not liking food, or me not liking food and stuff like that. When I was growing up, when I was a little kid, I hated peas. I used to hide them in, my parents had this old washing machine by the table, and they wouldn't let me leave the table until my plate was clean. And I used to dump the peas in this old washing machine that we had, because I hated peas. God, I hated peas. But now I love peas. I totally love peas. Peas are like one of my favorite foods now. So it was all like psycho, you know, like my brain had just associated that green color of peas with something that just made me just disgusted when I ate them. But I wasn't allergic to them. If you're allergic to food, I can see you not wanting to eat it. But if you can just retrain your mind so where, you know, when you're swallowing stuff like this, you just think to yourself, oh, it's pulp. It's just pulp. Because you're giving your insides a lot of vitamins that it will really like and it can use. It's really happy. And you know, you want to cut down on the sugars and the flours and stuff like that, and all the artificial shit that you're putting in, because the sugars really aren't good for you. I mean, sugar, white sugar, it only adds to your tire. I mean, if you don't care. But you know, I smoke, and I smoke pot, and I drink, and I would do drugs if they were legal, but I don't want to deal with the police anymore. If that makes any sense. So I'm trying to not do anything illegal. But still use the Nick Nose. See, I've used this a few times. Can't really use that anymore, because when you get that black stuff that you're breathing in the cigarettes, when this black stuff gets up here and you taste it, oh my God. It is the most disgusting, and it's coming out of the cigarettes that you smoke, that we all smoke, right? But when you get that black shit in your mouth, oh my God. It's I mean, it's like eating like asphalt or something. I mean, it's just disgusting. I mean, but you should try it. Just try it. Because I think that people having their own experiences, you know, is like the best. I mean, people change most when they have their own bad experiences, right? I mean, I might be, all of us might be warning you about bad experiences and stuff like that, but you'll learn more when it happens to you. But I mean, the radiation, I don't know if I've ever, I think that I have come into contact with radiation before. And I mean, it was just like, it was this pot, not pot that you smoke, but it was this big metal or this big brass pot. And all I did was carry the pot from one place to another. I was moving. I was working for a moving company, and the guy said, "Oh, that's radioactive." But my arms felt hot. Even after it was over with, even after I was done carrying it, my arms still felt hot or warm, you know, like annoyingly warm. And I was thinking, and the guy was like, "Oh," and I was thinking, why didn't you tell me that before I touched it, you know? And then other time when I was moving, this guy had this glowing ember. It was, I don't know if it was on, it was like on something. He was holding it, he was on it, it was on something, and he was showing it to me, and it was this glowing ember. And I'm like, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's radiation." I'm like, "How do you know?" He's like, "'Cause it's glowing." And I was like, "Is it glowing all by itself?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like moving it around and stuff like that. He's like, "You don't want to touch it, it'll give you cancer." I'm like, but that was, you know, the only 2 times that I've run into radiation was when I was working for this one moving company. And it seemed like, you know, I don't know, it was just weird to me why those 2 things would happen. And that was like right around 9/11. I actually quit the company I was working for after 9/11 happened. Because 9/11 kind of fucked my brain up. Completely fucked my brain up. 9/11 completely fucked me up. Because I knew it was our government. I knew our government had done it. I mean, when the second plane hit, I knew our government had done it. because I've flown planes before, right? I've flown a Cessna 182. I mean, I've only been up, you know, probably like 5 times or something like that, around 5 times. And I was flying one time, and I switched the controls, you know, and I had this guy flying with me. The teacher guy was flying with me, and I switched the controls and I flew. But within 90 seconds, this jet plane was flying next to us, and I looked over, right, and he's like, "Everything okay?" And I was like, he was like, "Okay, just signal or whatever, or just call in from now on," or something like that. And then I was like, I don't know, but within a minute and a half, you know, and I was flying a Cessna 182. I mean, these are jetliners. I can't imagine a jetliner being allowed to fly off course for, you know, even like 5 minutes. That just, these jet planes were allowed to fly off course for more than an hour. 9/11 was on purpose. They did. I don't even believe that any planes went down in Shanksville, or I don't believe a plane hit the Pentagon either. And I mean, if you watch enough 9/11 movies, you'll start believing that no planes even hit the Twin Towers, which is a possibility. Because if this was a steel wall and this was an aluminum pipe and it hit this wall, a steel wall against an aluminum pipe, which is what a plane is, a hollow tube, aluminum, right? It doesn't matter how hard the aluminum hit the steel. It's not going to affect the steel at all. The aluminum's just going to crumble. Because aluminum can't affect steel. Because aluminum isn't even half as hard, isn't even nearly as hard as steel is. Steel will stand against aluminum all the time. But those planes went right into the buildings, blew up the whole buildings. Those buildings were bombed. Those buildings were full of bombs. I mean, and people even said, people in the areas and whatever, the paramedics all said there was explosions all throughout the buildings, you know, and they were all talking about secondary explosions and everything like that. And 9/11 was an inside job. So I don't know, 3/11, that's weird, right? 9/11, 2001, the plane hits. 3/11, 2011, Fukushima blows up. You know, it's just weird how the numbers and the dates and stuff are connected. But Fukushima is an extinction event. Because we haven't done anything. I mean, we haven't done anything to stop it in almost 7 years. We haven't done anything. I mean, they haven't even stopped the reactors from releasing all that water into the ocean. I mean, I don't know. I do hope that we get rid of, well, I mean, who do we get rid of? Because now the government is different. The government now that we have is different than the government that we had, I mean, at the time of 9/11, at the time of Fukushima, you know, the government that we have now. But it seems like the government that we have now is even playing into all of those catastrophes, though. I mean, it's not like they're helping us, or it's not like they're trying to clean things up, or, you know, and Trump is just fucking the environment more, and he doesn't care. Trump doesn't give a shit about the environment. Trump is a narcissist. He cares about himself, and, you know, it's basically himself. He's a businessman. I knew that. But Trump has something to lose, right? There's things that we can affect the things that Trump does, because we can affect his businesses and his family. Hillary doesn't really have anything to lose. She would completely fuck us. She'd kill us, and she doesn't care. We could take everything away from Hillary, and she's shaking hands with Osama bin Laden. I don't really believe that Osama bin Laden was responsible for 9/11, but you know, she's shaking hands with the nation. The person that the nation is calling the biggest traitor in history, Hillary Clinton, is shaking hands with him. So whether he was or he wasn't, I think he was a CIA asset, actually. But and supposedly he died in 2001 in a hospital in Dubai, I think. An American hospital in Dubai, and he got visited by FBI people. And so, I mean, the body that the Navy SEALs dumped out of the helicopter was not Osama bin Laden. I mean, they dumped the body out, and they called it Osama bin Laden because, I mean, it made the soldiers look all the soldiers died anyways. All but one, I think, of those soldiers died before they even made it back to camp, because the helicopter went down. That's what they said. Or they just didn't want any of the soldiers that killed Osama bin Laden to be interviewed, so they said they all died, even though they didn't. But the guy that shot Osama bin Laden supposedly lived. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit. Because Osama bin Laden died in 2001 or 2002 in a hospital in Dubai of like liver cancer or something like that, and he was a CIA asset before that. Tim Osman was his name, was his CIA name. Tim Osman. So look into that. But okay, well, I hope it's December 24th. I hope you're having a good I hope you have a good dinner, and I hope you have a lot of time spent with your family. So take care. God bless.